Welcome to Beyond Wisdom, where we empower high-value men to take control of their lives and relationships. We're talking about building a life of purpose, a life of abundance, a life where you are in the driver's seat. And let's be clear, gentlemen, that journey starts with you. Today we're diving into the 7 rules to break her ego and establish your dominance. Now, before you ladies start typing those angry comments, understand this. This isn't about being disrespectful or mistreating women. This is about understanding the delicate balance of power in a relationship and ensuring you're not being led astray by a woman who hasn't yet found her own. We're talking about leveling up, gentlemen. Are you ready? Let's get started. Rule number 1, gentlemen, and write this down. Always prioritize your goals over her needs. A high-value man understands that his purpose, his drive, his ambition, those are non-negotiables. You had goals before she slid into your DMs, didn't you? Don't let those aspirations fade just because you've got a woman vying for your attention. Look, a woman, a real woman, one who's worthy of your time, will respect your grind. She'll understand that your ambition isn't a slight against her, but a testament to your character. She'll encourage it even, but those who aren't ready, those with their own insecurities, they'll try to hold you back. They'll guilt you, manipulate you, try to make you feel bad for chasing your dreams. Don't fall for it. Remember, a high-value man is building an empire. He's focused on legacy. He's not going to be deterred by a woman who's threatened by his ambition. He's going to elevate her, bring her along for the ride. But that only works if she's willing to level up herself. Now, I'm not saying you neglect her needs entirely. That's not what a king does. But you need to make sure your priorities are in order. Your goals, your aspirations, those come first. And any woman who tells you otherwise, well, gentlemen, you know what to do. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're working late on a business proposal, something that could be life-changing for you, but she wants you to skip it, go to the movies instead. A high-value man understands the importance of that moment. He knows that his future success is paramount. He'll find a way to appease her, maybe take her out another night, but he's not sacrificing his goals. This isn't about being selfish, gentlemen. It's about understanding your worth. It's about knowing that your ambition is a gift, not a burden. And any woman who can't see that, well, she's not the queen for your kingdom. Rule number 2, gentlemen, and this is crucial. Never chase her validation. A high-value man is secure in himself. He doesn't need a woman, or anyone for that matter, to tell him his worth. He knows who he is, what he brings to the table. He doesn't need a gold star from a woman to feel good about himself. Listen, when you're constantly seeking her approval, you're giving her all the power. You're putting her on a pedestal, letting her dictate your self-worth. And trust me, that's a dangerous game to play. A queen, a true queen, will recognize your value instantly. She won't need you to jump through hoops to constantly seek her approval. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be attentive, that you shouldn't care about her feelings. Of course you should. But there's a difference between being attentive and being a lapdog. A high-value man knows how to make a woman feel special without compromising his own integrity, without constantly needing her validation. Think about it this way, gentlemen. If you're constantly seeking her approval, what does that say about you? It says you're unsure of yourself, that you doubt your own worth. And that, my friends, is not attractive. Women are drawn to confidence, to self-assuredness. They want a man who knows his value, a man who doesn't need constant reassurance. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you've planned a date, something you put a lot of thought into. You pick her up, she's dressed to the nines, everything's perfect. But then, she starts criticizing your choice of restaurant, the music, even your outfit. A high-value man wouldn't crumble under that pressure. He wouldn't spend the entire night trying to win back her approval. He'd brush it off, maintain his composure, and enjoy the evening on his own terms. Remember, gentlemen, you are the prize. Don't ever forget that. Rule number 3, and this is non-negotiable: set clear boundaries and enforce them. A high-value man understands that boundaries are not about control, they're about self-respect. They're about defining what you will and will not tolerate in a relationship. And trust me, gentlemen, a woman who respects you will respect your boundaries. Look, when you don't have boundaries, you're essentially saying, walk all over me, I'm a doormat. You're giving her free rein to disrespect you, to disregard your feelings. And let me tell you, that's a recipe for disaster. A woman, a true queen, will appreciate a man who knows his worth, a man who's not afraid to stand his ground. Now, setting boundaries isn't about being controlling or demanding. It's about communicating your needs, your expectations. It's about letting her know what you will and will not tolerate. And if she crosses those lines, you stand firm. You don't back down. Let's say for instance she has a habit of going through your phone. A high-value man wouldn't tolerate that kind of invasion of privacy. He'd shut it down immediately. He'd make it clear that his phone is his personal space and she has no right to violate that. Or perhaps she's constantly disrespecting your time, showing up late, canceling plans at the last minute. A high-value man wouldn't make excuses for her behavior. He'd address it head-on, let her know that his time is valuable and she needs to respect that. Remember, gentlemen, boundaries are not about being mean or controlling. They're about protecting your peace, your energy. They're about ensuring that the relationship is built on a foundation of respect, not just fleeting emotions. Chapter 4. Be willing to walk away. Rule number 4, and this is where many men falter, be willing to walk away at any time. A high-value man understands that he has options. He doesn't cling to a woman out of desperation or fear of being alone. He knows his worth and he's not afraid to walk away from a situation that no longer serves him. Look, when you're too invested, too attached, you lose your power. You become afraid to rock the boat, to stand up for yourself, for fear of losing her. And trust me, gentlemen, that desperation is palpable. Women can sense it a mile away and it's not attractive. A high-value man walks with confidence. He knows that he's a catch, and if a woman doesn't recognize that, he's not afraid to show her the door. He understands that his peace of mind, his self-respect are paramount. Now, I'm not saying you should be going into every relationship looking for an exit sign. That's not what this is about. But you need to have that inner strength, that self-assuredness, that allows you to walk away if necessary. Let's say, for example, she's constantly testing your boundaries, disrespecting your time, not putting in the effort. A high-value man wouldn't hesitate to end the relationship. He'd recognize that his worth isn't tied to her validation, her presence in his life. Or perhaps she's trying to control him, to change him, to mold him into someone he's not. A high-value man wouldn't stand for that. He'd walk away knowing he deserves someone who appreciates him for who he is, not who she wants him to be. Remember, gentlemen, walking away isn't about playing games or being heartless, it's about self-preservation. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be with someone who values you, who respects you, who adds to your life, not detracts from it. Chapter 5. Maintain mystery. Rule number 5, gentlemen, and this is about cultivating an aura of intrigue. Maintain your mystery and independence. A high-value man doesn't lay all his cards on the table at once. He understands the power of allure, of keeping a woman guessing, of leaving her wanting more. Look, when you're an open book, when you reveal everything about yourself too soon, you become predictable. There's no intrigue, no mystery, nothing for her to uncover. And trust me, gentlemen, women crave that sense of discovery. They want a man who keeps them engaged, who keeps them guessing. A high-value man has a life outside of his relationship. He has his own passions, his own interests, his own friends. He doesn't make himself overly available, he doesn't smother her with attention. He allows her the space to miss him, to wonder about him, to crave his presence. Now, I'm not saying you should be playing mind games or being deliberately evasive. That's not what this is about. It's about retaining your sense of self, your individuality. It's about showing her that you have a life outside of her, and that's attractive. Let's say, for instance, she asks you to hang out 3 nights in a row. A high-value man wouldn't clear his schedule just to appease her. He'd politely decline, tell her he has other commitments. And the key here, gentlemen, is to be vague. Don't feel the need to give her a detailed itinerary of your every move. Or perhaps she's constantly asking you personal questions, trying to pry into your past, your thoughts, your feelings. A high-value man wouldn't feel the need to divulge everything. He'd deflect, redirect, maintain an air of mystery. Remember, gentlemen, mystery is seductive. It keeps a woman intrigued, it keeps her coming back for more. Don't underestimate the power of a little bit of intrigue. Chapter 6. Control emotions. Rule number 6, gentlemen, and this is crucial for maintaining your composure. Keep your emotions in check. A high-value man doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't allow himself to be ruled by his emotions, to be swayed by every little thing she says or does. He remains calm, cool, and collected even in the face of adversity. Look, when you're emotionally reactive, when you're quick to anger, quick to jealousy, you're giving her power over you, you're allowing her to dictate your emotional state. And trust me, gentlemen, that's not a position you want to be in. A woman, a true queen, will be drawn to your stability, your emotional strength. Now, I'm not saying you should be an emotionless robot, that's not what this is about, but you need to have mastery over your emotions. You need to be able to stay grounded, centered, even when she's trying to push your buttons. Let's say, For instance, she's being distant. She's not responding to your texts as quickly, she's not as affectionate as she used to be. A high-value man wouldn't panic. He wouldn't bombard her with messages demanding to know what's wrong. He'd remain calm, give her space, and trust that if she wants to talk, she will. Or perhaps she's flirting with other men in front of you, trying to get a rise out of you. A high-value man wouldn't react. He wouldn't let her see that she's getting to him. He'd remain unfazed, confident in his own worth, and let her know that her games are having no effect. Remember, gentlemen, emotional control is a sign of strength. It shows a woman that you're not easily rattled, that you're capable of handling whatever life throws your way. And that, my friends, is incredibly attractive. Chapter 7. Lead with confidence. Rule number 7, gentlemen, and this is the culmination of it all. Lead with confidence and decisiveness. A high-value man doesn't hesitate, he doesn't second-guess himself. He knows what he wants, and he goes after it with unwavering conviction. He's not afraid to make decisions, to take charge, to lead the way. Look, when you're indecisive, when you're constantly seeking her approval, asking her permission, you're diminishing your own value. You're showing her that you're not secure in your own judgment, that you need her validation to make a move. And trust me, gentlemen, that's not attractive. A woman, a true queen, wants a king who leads, a king who's not afraid to take the reins. Now, I'm not saying you should be domineering or controlling. That's not what leadership is about. It's about having a vision, a plan, and the confidence to execute it. It's about making decisions that are in the best interest of yourself and the relationship, and standing by those decisions with unwavering conviction. Let's say, for instance, you're planning a date. A high-value man wouldn't present her with a list of options and ask her to choose. He'd make a decision, tell her where they're going and when. He'd be firm but not inflexible, open to suggestions but ultimately in control of the plan. Or perhaps you're facing a difficult decision as a couple. A high-value man wouldn't shy away from the responsibility. He'd gather all the information, weigh the options, and make an informed decision, even if it's not the popular one. He wouldn't be afraid to stand his ground, to lead with confidence, even in the face of opposition. Remember, gentlemen, leadership is about more than just making decisions. It's about having a vision, inspiring others, and guiding them towards a common goal. It's about being the man that a woman can rely on, a man who's not afraid to take the lead. Gentlemen, these 7 rules are not just about attracting a woman, they're about becoming the best version of yourself. They're about stepping into your power, embracing your worth, and creating a life that you're proud of. Remember, a high-value man never compromises his self-worth for anyone. He knows what he deserves, and he's not afraid to demand it. This is about more than just dating, gentlemen. This is about building a life of purpose, a life of abundance, a life where you are in control. It's about becoming the man you were destined to be, the man who commands respect, the man who attracts the right kind of woman. Subscribe to Beyond Wisdom for more insights on mastering your life and relationships. And remember, gentlemen, the journey to becoming a high-value man starts today.